All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of Neoweather Live here
Hello.
on this Wednesday.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
Excellent.
Very good. And hopefully everybody out
Yes.
there is joining us. It looks like we got about 10, 15 people on, so good to see some more people on to join us here at the start. Hopefully your Wednesday is going very well as we have a decent amount of sunshine today to talk about and finally some warmer temperatures.
Yes, it's a beautiful day outside. I've been out on and off this morning and doing a little work around the house, a little painting. Perfect day for that, by the way. The weather is perfect. That paint's going to dry in no time. Low humidity and just enough heat. Perfect. But beautiful, yes. And we do have some warmer weather coming. But what does warmer weather mean in Ohio?
It means some heat and some storms
It
as
means
well.
some storms
and
too.
more
We just
humidity.
can't get and more
Can't
humidity.
go wrong with that, I guess.
Can't be a dry heat, can it?
No, not very often here.
No,
at all.
not too
it's
often.
Pretty rare.
No.
But yeah, we definitely have a major increase in humidity coming just by the start of the day tomorrow, and then those threats of storms will also be around sometime tomorrow.
They will, yes, and some of them could be severe. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a moment, of course. So we got a good show today. We're going to talk about the weather, of course. We're going to talk about some model stuff.
Yeah.
And we got a really cool waterspout video to show, too, from Monday when we had the waterspouts on the lake. Nice cold air mass over a warm body of water. It's kind of rare for waterspouts in June, isn't it?
Very. You'll typically see them in August starting, and then especially into September
Yes.
and early October. That's when you have that biggest contrast of the cool air masses over the lake. Normally, the water doesn't get necessarily as warm enough, or we don't see those cool air masses this early in the season. So a little bit of a rarity, but
A little rare. Had some
hey,
cool
it's-
waterspouts. I saw lots of pictures. They were really cool, too. So,
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
nice, robust waterspouts of all. But the video is really cool. It's probably one of the best ones that was on the lake that day, too.
Yeah, and it got shared around a bunch of places
Sure
as well,
did.
so we tried to pick the best possible one to show you guys. So
Absolutely.
well, let's get right to it.
All right. Well, the first thing we got here is the forecast for Cincinnati. I'll take care of that,
Sure.
Brian.
This is coming up for tomorrow.
This is for tomorrow. Look at this. 89 degrees, folks. We're probably hitting 90 in a couple spots, perhaps. But what do we got here? Afternoon and evening thunderstorms. Now, down in southern Ohio, we're really not looking at too much. You'll just be hit and miss. You're going to have more of the heat and some clouds building in the afternoon, as you see here. We'll start off pretty warm and mainly sunny at 71 at 7 a.m. We'll hit about 81 by 11 o'clock and be partly cloudy. We're up to 87 by 2 o'clock under partly cloudy skies. And then again, those isolated storms for the commute home. 89 degrees is your high. It will be breezy, though. Wind out of the southwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour. So it's going to be a nice, warm, kind of humid day with a few storms around across southwestern Ohio. Really not all that bad, actually, Brian.
No, it's not going to be at all. Definitely
But
a big
warm.
increase in warmth. But we're not looking at too many storms for southwest Ohio at all. It's going to be a change as you go northward towards northeast Ohio, and I wanted to show you the 7-day forecast right now for northeast Ohio. We can see here for Wednesday, again today, 79 degrees. That's really picture perfect. Mainly sunny skies for northeast Ohio through much of the afternoon. We'll start to see a few clouds increase and probably go to partly cloudy by sunset here tonight. And then tomorrow, again, warmer. Not super hot, but we will be in the middle 80s. Expect a few chances for showers and thunderstorms, especially later in the afternoon into the evening. The best chance for rain will not arrive till tomorrow night, but it's going to be very muggy and mild. Temperatures only falling back to about 70 degrees. Then you can see there Friday 84, so pretty much a repeat. Few storms around off and on throughout the day. Again, maybe one could be strong. We'll address that a little bit more. Saturday looks like a cold front day coming through. We will see another few storms moving through. It looks like in the morning to early afternoon as of right now, and then as we go towards Sunday, we're going to cool down to the upper 70s, excuse me. We will see a lot more sunshine, so a pretty good day out there once again, and less humidity, but it will be pretty humid from tomorrow through the weekend, at least the start of the weekend, and then hitting into your 4th of July, it becomes unsettled again. We have a little warm-up, and then cool things right back down for the 4th. We are unfortunately tracking some showers, maybe even some thunderstorms as of right now. We'll kind of keep you updated as we go through the next few days on those chances, and we'll have a little bit more information on the temperatures and rain chances here for the 4th coming up.
That's right. And I believe we had a question already, Brian. I think it's from Marissa. If you could give that a quick check for me there.
Sure thing. Let me pull up the other stream.
I think she was looking at Monday night, I believe. We have a tiny little tablet here that has our live stream on it, just so we can kind of see what's going out. And it shows the comments, but it's like a 2-point font, and it's really hard to read. But
right.
what do we
Friday
have here?
night, it shouldn't be really too bad. A couple isolated showers or thunderstorms around. but really don't expect too much in the Akron-Canton area. And just those hit and miss storms, can't really predict that there's going to be anything moving through at all during that time period. So should be good with your aunt coming into town. Hopefully you guys have a good time together coming up in the next
very
few days.
good. And yeah, for the fireworks and stuff, the 3rd and 4th, some parts of the state, you'll have to be careful. Northeast Ohio, parts of central Ohio. I think right now, southwest Ohio, last I looked pretty good. So southern Ohio may have no problem getting in those fireworks.
As of right now, yeah, it looks like we're going to have that batch of rain move in. Models are not consistent with everything. Some models are showing a pretty organized batch of just some showers and unsettled weather. Others are showing more hit and miss scattered thunderstorms. So we'll see as we go forward.
It's going to be something more it's going to be very changeable. So when you go, oh man, they just can't make up their mind what they want to do for Monday or Tuesday. The models are just very unsettled right now, and we're trying our best to pick the best solution. But even then they start flip-flopping and changing. So you get a little bit going on.
The good news is we're not going to be like those weather apps that change every 4 to 6 hours. We're going to stick with
we don't change with every model run. That's very true.
That's absolutely true. And let's kind of backtrack a little bit.
You want to backtrack first?
No. This is backtracking.
This is
tonight.
Hey, yes, it is.
This works. Absolutely. If you're going to the Tribe game tonight, we'll stick with our Northeast Ohio folks for you a little bit. It's going to be a great night.
Oh, yeah.
Just
it's
perfect.
It's going to be great. Absolutely. We're looking at partly cloudy skies through the whole game. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s. We'll be around 71 towards the end of the game. Very comfortable out there, low humidity. So it's just an absolutely perfect night to go to the game. Not too hot, not too cold, not too humid or sticky. Maybe it'll keep some of those midges away too. We'll see. But,
oh my, so many of those out there.
Yeah, it's a 7:10 pitch against the Rangers again. So hopefully we can pull off a win tonight. Last night, actually, I watched a good part of the game. It was a great game, Brian. Good pitching and everything. They just got one in the ninth, and we couldn't pull it off in the end, unfortunately. But
frustrating with the Tribe this year. I mean, you put together these good stretches, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, what happened? 2 games ago, you're like, okay, coming off of 2 different shutouts in a row, and no offense whatsoever, and then you're getting blown out. It's 9-2, and everybody's like, okay, this team, what happened to them? They're going down, down, down. No way for the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they rally off 13 straight runs. So very unpredictable baseball, and the Reds have played a little bit of the up and down ball as well this year. They're not totally out of it in the Central Division of the National League at all either.
Yeah, that's also very true there. All right, cool. Now we got the Indians forecast out. Let's talk a little severe weather for tomorrow, Brian. Here we are. Here's our severe weather risk for Thursday, June 29th.
And we did this graphic yesterday, and we're feeling pretty confident with this kind of sticking very consistently as of right now with our thinking. We do have a decent chance, I'd say, across northwestern Ohio. That's probably your best chance in here where you could have some damaging wind gusts, where you could have some isolated hail. This is, again, mainly the second half of the afternoon tomorrow through the evening hours into the early night. As we could see in northeast Ohio, there's certainly still a risk for storms. It's low, but yeah, you could see some strong to severe storms for sure in that vicinity as well. And then you get into the green color here across portions of southwest Ohio, moving through central into portions of east central Ohio. Generally lesser percent of a chance of any kind of severe storms, but still maybe a little bit of a feisty storm could form there as well. Southwest Ohio and southeast Ohio, as we kind of talked about, much less of a chance, maybe only a 20-30% chance of any rain shower or storm through the day tomorrow, and a couple of those could be decent, but probably not strong to severe.
That's very true. Well, all right, and we're back. I apologize about that. Our internet went out for some reason. We just lost the whole Wi-Fi side of stuff, and we had to reset and restart basically to get things going. So, well, let me go ahead and talk about a little radar stuff here.
Luckily, those kind of issues are fairly rare. We don't really see that too often. So hopefully we won't have any more issues like that. But yeah, go ahead and chat about some radar.
Ooh, yeah, I zoomed out too far there. I saw you dodging back toward, there we go. I think we got it now. All right, that does look better. Yeah, so as you can see across Ohio, beautiful here. But now you got some storms back towards Chicago and into north central Illinois. These aren't going to affect us. They're not even going to make it here. But this system is going to bring us showers and storms for your Thursday. Now look at the radar here. You can see on the visible satellite these wispy clouds moving across western Ohio. If you're joining us from western Ohio, you probably got some filtered sunshine out there. But there's just these nice high wispy cirrus clouds moving across. and they're probably not going to make it all the way across the state either. It's just a little too dry out over us for all that to come in. Now, as you look towards the east, you do get some clouds that are redeveloping across the mountains where it's much more humid. They got rain out here for like the past 2 weeks, it seems. So you do get some afternoon clouds out here as well, but they still got a nice component too coming off the lake. So there are still some lake clouds out there as well. As you can see, the last system that moved through here, cold front, way out here over the ocean, and it's continuing to push off east further out into the Atlantic. Again, our weather maker is going to be this on Thursday. That's another cold front with the low way up here. You can't quite see it under our logo, but we also got some nice heat building out in the plains as well. And let's take a look at a little bit of heat right now here, folks.
Bring in the heat.
Yeah, here we are. Here's our heat. Whoop, that's not our heat. Well, we got to keep that on. I don't know why it doesn't want to save that. There we go. Already this morning, we're looking at upper 80 across parts of Texas and Oklahoma.
Look at that. That is definitely some impressive warmth you can see across much of the deep south in towards the southern plains. This is where the heat's really baking. Last week we were telling you about that major heat wave across the desert southwest, portions of Arizona, Nevada, really just cooking under the heat. So far we've relieved the heat a little bit. It's still more like your typical super warm weather across the desert southwest now once again. But some of this major heat will be spreading across the Midwest and moving eastward into the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes as we go through the next few days. We're not going to tap into anything super duper warm. There's no 90s in sight really for Ohio. Could get close a couple of days across maybe southern Ohio, but really overall we're going to be much more closer to normal. So temperatures generally getting into the lower to middle 80s for highs, dipping down into the middle to maybe upper 60s for lows, especially as you get towards southern Ohio. Those lows are going to be a little bit warmer. But we can see that little boundary right here across the area. That's going to be that warm front really pushing in. And there's going to be multiple rounds of storms that are going to develop south of this low pressure system here across kind of the Minnesota, Wisconsin, southern Canadian border. So we're going to see rounds of storms across Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, even into northwest Ohio over the next few days or so. Some models are putting out upwards of 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of rain in spots across portions of the agricultural belt out there. Pretty impressive, definitely over a relatively short amount of time. Just round of storm after round of storm, kind of training after each other. It's all due to a slow-moving cold front that's going to allow things to pop up and develop. So we'll continue to be watching that as we go through the next few days. And we'll also continue to watch for some periods of even severe weather where those best weather dynamics are, that wind shear, that change of wind speed and direction as you go up in height in the atmosphere. That's one of the things to kind of watch. And then also plenty of instability as we get all that Gulf Coast moisture to really spread on it. And, speaking of some models and whatnot, we'll take a look at that. Looks like here in a moment or two.
I'm trying to get it to load, but unfortunately to restart everything,
Sure.
we lost all of our kind of pre-cached data, unfortunately. So didn't watch it load in real time.
Hey!
Yeah, it's great.
A lot of what we have to show you is just definitely looks very nice as far as being able to visually show when storms are going to come on multiple different computer models that we have access to. We can also show with temperatures and winds and all the different kind of weather data out into the future with our different weather models. So.
Yes, and I know you're watching. Oh, I didn't see it. Go back, go back. It's okay. We're going to go back. I'm just trying to get the data to load right now, so it's a nice, smooth transition.
Exactly.
When we go to it, so we should be good here now.
If you guys have any weather questions, feel free to shoot away. I'll take a look at those. We'll try to answer them for you.
Yes.
If you have any comments, suggestions, we also appreciate that. And make sure to give this video a share. I'm sorry that we're doing this kind of in 2 parts today, but definitely want to get that out to your friends and family so we can share some weather information. And if you're kind of a weather nerd, hey, this is the kind of stuff that you guys should definitely really appreciate, is talking about what's going on in the atmospheric world. So
Absolutely.
You want to take it away with the model map?
I'm going to try my best here because I got to do this a little archaically. But so here we are as we get into early afternoon on Thursday. Dry across all of Ohio. Remember, our severe threat is generally northwest Ohio, on up to about the Cleveland area just east, down to about the Akron-Canton area, and then across Mansfield, and then parts of west central Ohio. South of that, Dayton, Cincinnati, even Columbus, we're only looking at a very, very marginal risk for storms. But as we go through the afternoon, you can see the storm starting to fire here across northern Indiana and southern Michigan. And these continue into the evening hours. This model shows an evening and overnight threat. Here's a nice storm moving across southern low in Michigan right here. Nice little supercell type structure there. We're looking mainly at damaging winds. However, some large hail is also possible as well with the cold air aloft. So storms start firing around Toledo down to Findlay and Lima, and they start kind of forming into a line here as we go through the overnight hours. And then we get another little round of storms across west central Ohio overnight, according to this model. And this is about midnight Friday morning. So this moves then east across Ohio. They break up, of course, with another round of storms early morning across northwestern Ohio. These probably will not be severe, but they'll probably be loud enough to wake you up early enough for work. And as we go into the day on Friday, as you can see here, we're really not looking at too much in the way of storms. But we will have some afternoon and evening thunderstorms here and there across the state, especially across northwestern Ohio. Now, whether or not this model pans out, it's really hard to say. Again, this is one model, not an actual forecast. So, there's going to be some changes to this as well. But we can be reasonably assured we'll see some severe storms up in northwestern Ohio, parts of northeastern Ohio, and then back into west central Ohio sometime tomorrow afternoon, and especially during the evening hours. Can't rule out a thunderstorm developing as early as about 1, 2 o'clock off towards western Ohio and northwestern Ohio as we go through the afternoon on Thursday. But that's one model we have there. We can even look at another. Let me see, not out far enough yet. We go here.
We'll go wherever the model takes us sometimes.
Right.
Marissa, hi again. And if you're just getting in here, again, sorry that we kind of had to interrupt this. We had our first part that we kind of did, and then our internet went down. We had to restart everything. So we're up and running once again and chatting about some of the latest weather that we're expecting over the next few days across the state of Ohio. So if you want to come back in here?
Yeah, really, this particular model is a lot drier. So you see, it has this storm here across southern lower Michigan right around the same time, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, as the previous model. This is a different model. But you can see this model, not so much going on.
No.
That's really the only thing. Maybe some storms developing across northern Indiana at that time. This is as far as this model goes out. It's a 48-hour model, whereas the other one goes out 60-hour by hour. This one is 48-hour by hour. So not much going on. So there could be some bust potential, too, where we only get a couple storms that fire and that's it.
Yeah, the agreement isn't
we could
great.
get a lot of storms that fire, and then we have several warnings issued. But again,
We're
the
going to have
biggest
the
threat...
moisture.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of that heat energy as well.
We are.
There's some of that wind shear where you mentioned the change of wind speed and wind direction, but it's not great, and we're not seeing the model consistency. So
Yeah,
it could be a lot of different possibilities.
Yeah, and I think this model is really kind of underdoing some of the things here because it doesn't show too much going on. So I'm making that without diving too much further into it. I'd have to look more into it to really have a good consensus on that. But yeah, the model inconsistency lately with the pattern being the way it is has been tough, and that's made our job a little tough in the forecasting department too.
And there's times that you can look at absolutely every parameter in detail, every single model run, seeing the trends of the models each time they're run throughout the day,
Yep.
and be like, okay, I'm very confident this is what's going to happen.
And it doesn't happen. And then something else happens, and it's like, oh, I didn't see that coming at all. Yeah, it's great. It really puts a lot of confidence in our forecast and
Weather is
ourselves, and we're
fun.
just like, but it does happen. This is why these are models, not actual forecasts, because they can be wrong. They can be just as wrong as the humans that program
Sure.
them. So, that's what we have there.
Sure.
So,
Want to dive into more models, some ensembles and stuff?
yeah, we could do that. Of course, any severe weather does crop up. You can check out our Facebook page throughout the day on Thursday, and we will definitely keep you updated on the very latest.
All the time, we'll be posting any kind of updates as we head in towards the event, and then as severe storms pop up, we post those as of right now. And then if you want to see even more information, hyper-local to your location, really specific as the storms go through, then our Twitter page will just be able to post a lot more updates on there than Facebook. So that's just Ohio First Warn on Twitter. So back to the model discussion. What is this? What are all these?
Whoa.
These are called ensemble forecasts. Now, an ensemble is one main computer run that is run with several different conditions. So just all the different weather data is inputted slightly different into that same model run, and it comes out to all of these. So what is this specifically showing? Well, the
25 different forecasts,
yeah,
Brian.
Exactly. The bluish and more green colors necessarily are showing cooler than normal temperatures, where the reds and the oranges and even some of the yellows, they're showing warmer than normal temperatures. This is for 4th of July, next Tuesday. So there's 25 different forecasts here, and if you look at them kind of one by one and kind of average them out, you're seeing more of the ones that show a little bit more on the cool side across the state of Ohio right here, and that is necessarily showing you that we have cooler than normal temperatures projected overall for Tuesday. And there's more support than just this. Some of the other computer models are also showing even stronger signals for cold, those brighter green colors, and even other computer forecasts, not even the European model that I'm showing you right now, is showing something similar. So the GFS or the American model, also cooler than normal. So temperatures maybe in the 70s to maybe at the warmest about 80 degrees for 4th of July as it looks right now. And we could also see some showers and thunderstorms around.
That's absolutely right, Brian. Here's our next one here.
All right, and this is another ensemble model. So we're kind of introducing you to some of the things that we look at as meteorologists and forecasters. This one is the same kind of story where it's showing all these different initial conditions run by the same model to project rainfall. So generally speaking, the green and the yellow colors and the blue colors are just very small amounts of rain, under maybe a 1/4 inch to at most a 1/2 inch. This is in a time sequence, so as you go out towards 100, 200, 250 hours into the future, you're going to see those colors get more brighter in terms of your oranges and your reds. That means more rain is accumulating. Obviously, we're going to see possibilities of 1 inch, 2 inches of rain as we go out over the next week and a half. And the general consistency here is not that great. You see some in the blues, still several days out, where some are more in the red color. So not all the models are agreeing on how much rain we're getting, and that shows up on this map on the bottom. You can see here the ensemble forecasts, which are in blue, I believe, are showing that we generally have more rain expected. That's the deterministic forecast, where our ensemble mean is at, actually less in the green color there. So that's a pretty big difference. It's showing about maybe 1 inch, inch and a half on the ensemble, which is that blend of 25 different forecasts, where on the main model run, it's in the blue, way up here. You can follow that over and look, that's about 3 inches into early next week and through the middle portion of the week. So not good consistency on how much rain we're going to get. Some models are showing anywhere from around 1 inch total over the next week, where others are 3 inches, which would definitely be a lot of rain over the next few days. So
Yes, it would.
There's your science meteorology 101 model moment there for this week.
That's true, yes. So these are very interesting to look at, and you can see some of the different invariabilities, if you will, in how things are. You know, how they're even within the model, some things aren't consistent sometimes, and it does make it very interesting and very fun. Speaking of interesting and fun, how about a little waterspout video, folks? So here we are. They did a nice job here. It's really good. Here's your waterspout. This is from Eastlake, by the way. And it's just out there spinning over the lake, about 6 miles out or so is where these were, with a line of showers and some storms that moved across too. You can see the rain out here, which is also very interesting because usually when you get these setups, you don't have too much rain around. They just start developing. You know, you'll have the low base, and you'll kind of see it get ragged sometimes. This one, not so ragged, pretty uniform. Sometimes it'll be ragged, and you'll see a little, cloud drop down like a wall cloud, basically, just like you would with a storm over land, and you'll see this little ropey thing kind of come down. That's your water spout. It'll be on the water for a couple minutes, and then it'll just fade away and move on. And then later on, that one may redevelop, it may not. Sometimes you'll see another one come along that the conditions are just present in a small area. Another one develop, go away. This is pretty healthy, actually. This almost looks like a tornado. You can see the water getting sucked up here, and just how really this is actually kind of wide for a waterspout. Waterspouts are usually kind of tall and skinny and straight up. This one's kind of more stovepipe-ish, if you will. A little wider than usual. And of course, you got the rain in the background. So a really cool video. Thank you for whoever shared this, I don't really know,
Stuart,
unfortunately. Stuart, thank you very much. I'm stepping in here, and I didn't find this video today. Brian actually did.
This video is on the Weather Channel. It was on AccuWeather. It was on all the local news stations. And
I look on land, it's sunny.
Well. Yeah, and that's one of the things with a lot of these lake-induced developments with the atmosphere is you'll have an area of clouds in one spot, and then just miles away you'll have some sunshine. So you can see the wind. It's definitely blowing pretty hard. This was
onshore winds.
Well-defined thunderstorm, or at least a very heavy rain shower that this was associated with. So maybe a little bit more than your typical waterspout. Maybe this was a little bit more of like a tornadic waterspout where it was associated with a paired thunderstorm. You can kind of see that low-level base and some pretty far deep definition within the cumulus cloud there.
Yeah,
so,
it's
impressive.
You can even see it up by the logo here. Some of the
right
there it is. You got a little shot of it there, the cumulus there, which isn't uncommon completely with waterspout stuff from my experience. But this one's a little out of the ordinary, being that it was an actual kind of a complex of showers and storms that moved across the lake that day with it. So they had a little more oomph than it usually does for a typical a waterspout. And again, this is a little unusual. This isn't waterspout season. Waterspout season, as you said, was August to September, when you have a nice strong cold front moving across a really warm body of water. In this case, Lake Erie gets well into the 70s, in the summer. So you have that, and then you have an air mass that's in the 50s moving. You got a big difference in that. It's still warmer on land because it holds some heat a little bit, and then you got that moving across where it's even much warmer. All of a sudden you got a big clash of air mass, and there you go. You got a nice little water spout for you.
Same kind of story, just a couple months earlier. The lake temperatures are only in the 60s right now for the most part, right on the surface in spots. Normally in the western basin, they're up and through the 70s.
Oh, yeah, it's not too hard out there.
I mean, hey, we had lows in the low 50s, mid 50s the last couple nights, and that'll do it.
That's absolutely right. And I think the lake temperature this is going to do real well. It didn't freeze. We had a nice kind of mild winter that we weren't quite expecting for our neck of the woods.
And not that mild.
Yeah, not that mild, but mild enough that the lake didn't really freeze. It only had a little bit of ice out in the western basin, so okay. And then we got into a nice warm spring.
As long as we have enough sunshine and everything, we should be able to get it above average.
We might actually, we might actually easily get above 80 in spots, maybe even here in the Cleveland area. I don't think so much out east where the lake is deeper, though.
Right, no.
But I do think they'll probably end up a little bit above average, too, by late summer. I think it has a good possibility of happening.
Most likely, and that means, unfortunately, those harmful algal bloom possibilities across the western basin as well. And if we have more information on that, you can check out our website. It's not a super current article, but I believe published
it was about a week ago. Yeah,
about
we talked about the algae
maybe
bloom.
a week and a half ago. So you can go find that. And also website news if you are wondering why it's not loading properly or anything like that. We're getting all that sorted out. We're changing our host. So that's the only issue with that. But it should be all fine the next couple days.
It should be, give us a couple days to get everything hashed out because some of this stuff takes a little bit of time. We're in the process of changing a host over, and all that. We got to change some other things too.
Fun stuff.
It's always fun, yes. So, but so far actually it's going pretty well. The website hasn't been down during any of it, which is great. So, but if you do notice a problem, hit refresh and just give it a minute. It should reload. It shouldn't be an issue. But you might notice a couple things missing too. If you do, they'll eventually come back as well. So, but I don't really think you will, actually. I think everything looked like it transferred over pretty well over the weekend. So that's good news.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
But as always, guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We'll have our same show back again next week with a lot of the same kind of information, your forecast for Ohio, plus some new different weather facts you might not have known about. We'll try to explain some things and share any kind of cool weather stories or videos like you saw with the water spout. So if you like this kind of atmosphere and this kind of show talking about the weather, make sure to give it a share to your families and friends.
Absolutely.
We appreciate that. And also tell everybody to give Ohio First Warn and Neoweather US a like there on Facebook and Twitter as well.
That's right. And if you got any cool weather content you personally want to share on the show, just send it to us, and we'll do our best to get it up here on the old monitor, and,
and we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it and share it with everybody else that's watching.
Cool
as well
sunset
that day.
Pictures.
Anything you want. Yep, absolutely.
Definitely.
We'll share anything
guys,
pretty much.
Thank you so much. Hopefully you have a good rest of your afternoon out there.
Yeah, get outside and enjoy this nice weather. It's absolutely gorgeous out right now.
Besides a few clouds moving in through western Ohio right now, lots of sunshine across the eastern portion of the state and perfect temperatures.
That's right.
In the 70s.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thank you, and have yourself a good day.
Thank
See you later.
We'll see you later.